What's up, Whoopers? It's Vice here, and hey, look, I'm playing Pokemon TCG Pocket. So, I've been eagerly awaiting this game, just like everybody else, and now that it's finally hit its worldwide launch, I've been in there trying to make decks with the best cards that I can cobble together, and sort of the first coherent strategy I was able to put together was this Venusaur Psyduck idea. So I was able to get the multiples of Venusaur EX, and Psyduck wasn't a very difficult card for me to pick up along the way, so I thought, well, Venusaur seems like it could be quite a strong Pokemon, and what it really needs is a Pokemon that can help slow the pace of the game down so that it's got time to build up into that massive healing monster that you may have seen from time to time. So let's talk about this deck, how it's supposed to work, and what we're doing here. So we have Venusaur EX, big 190 HP Grass Stage 2 EX Pokemon, so it gives up 2 price points when it gets knocked out, but it does a very good job of stopping your opponent from knocking it out, because, for one, it's got the attack Giant Bloom, doing 100 damage and healing 30 from itself, as well as access to Potion and Erika in the list. So, these two cards together, alongside Venusaur EX's natural ability to heal itself by way of the attack, is really quite powerful. You can find yourself basically erasing entire turns from your opponent, and the challenge is just trying to find the time to be able to stack all the energy up on the Venusaur. And that is where Psyduck comes in. So Psyduck, which is your other important Pokemon in this deck, you want it out early, and it's got the attack Headache, where for a single energy, and colorless at that, so you don't have to mix and match your energy types, it simply says, it does 10 damage, and it makes it so your opponent cannot play supporter cards during their turn. So that's things like Professor Research to draw through their deck. They can't play Sabrina to disrupt the active Pokemon. They can't use Misty to get energy into play really quickly. You can't use Blaine, can't use Giovanni, all of these cards that they won't have access to anymore. So not only is their game plan slowed down by the fact that they can't play these supporter cards which typically speed up what they're trying to do, but also when they draw that card for their turn, it means they're not getting another useful card from their deck. They're getting a card that they can't play. So what Psyduck is there to do, hopefully, is buy you enough turns to get the Venusaur online. Even if you're only doing 60 damage with Venusaur using Razor Leaf, the first attack, that's fine. Because if the Venusaur is at full HP when you first come in, Giant Bloom is not one-shotting any of the big Pokemon in the format, but Razor Leaf, doing 60 into 100 damage, is a fine 2-hit KO, and by the time you use Giant Bloom with the Venusaur, that's sort of when you want to be accessing that healing effect anyway, right? There's no point in using or trying to aim for the healing when you're at full HP anyway. So that ramp up in energy is fine. It's just you need something like Psyduck to slow your opponent down. So, and then with the other cards in the deck, I guess X-Speed is there to ensure that you can get that turn 2 Psyduck online, right? If you open with the Bulbasaur, you search your deck for the Psyduck via Poké Ball and Professor Research and whatnot, and then you just use the X-Speed to give you the retreat into the Psyduck. And then I think like the rest of the cards are fairly self-explanatory. I will say the timing of the red card is important. Of course, it changes game to game. You've got to assess the board state for yourself, but I would consider using red card on the turn that you stop using Headache, because your opponent will have built up a big hand of cards, potentially a bunch of really powerful supporters that they want to make use of, hit them with the red card, and then hopefully disrupt them enough that you'll be able to see through the rest of the game with Venusaur. So I've got a game or two coming up. Please enjoy. Let me know what you think. If you're here for the Pocket deck list, If you're here for the ideas on how to play a card like Venusaur a little bit differently, I'm a Pokemon TCG player of 15 years. I started in 2009, and I'm here to enjoy Pocket as well. So enjoy, and I live stream all the time. So if you want to catch me on Twitch, you can catch me there too. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye. Yeah, I could put Ellie at the top. I'm using the emotes done by Lanakuma. So we want Psyduck, and we are going second, so we like Psyduck. And we're gonna put down the Bulbasaur so that we don't get wrecked by red card. Okay, well, we'll see if we can keep up with the big Pikachu. We get a couple of turns to work with, which is nice. You know, before they can circle circuit. And I'll hit them with the red card. We want to try and slow them down, right? Fine. Yeah, and we'll just headache. Iron Hands is baby. It's just in the back there, hanging out. I do have an Azurill emote. Crying Azurill. Put that one in there. So, Psyduck is dead next turn. I need something. Bulbasaur? Okay. It's not the one I wanted, but it's fine. So I need to be able to sacrifice something. Actually, no, Psyduck. Oh yeah, Psyduck is Gonski. Yikes. So, it is our sincere hope that my opponent doesn't have Sabrina. I'm going to promote the Bulbasaur. I'm going to watch and wait and see. Send up the Venusaur. Or put it out. Catch the energy. Last turn. And so this is a concept of... In Pokemon cards, like the regular game of Pokemon cards, we would call this a 7-prize game, but I guess in Pocket, we would call it a 4-prize game, where you sort of have to try and force your opponent to go through, 4 prizes worth of Pokemon in order to win, even though you only need to take 3 prizes. So that's not too bad. That's actually not bad at all. So we just do this. And then we play the Erika, right? Because we're not over healing because we can't Giant Bloom this turn, and then we just Razor Leaf. And now we're kind of at the mercy of what we draw off the top, to be honest, because they're gonna Circle Circuit for a lot of damage here, and yeah, we will be able to heal a little bit of it, but the second Pikachu EX is gonna finish the job if we can't heal. Venusaur is a chonker for sure, Paradox, and that's why we love Venusaur. We love Venusaur around here. 90. Okay, we are going to be able to heal out of range. Fantastic. We may yet overcome this matchup, but it's a bit spooky for sure. Giant Bloom. All the right things are occurring. So they're going to do 90 damage again here. We'll be at 50. So I need to top deck healing, otherwise we lose. If I don't top deck the healing, we're cooked. Is that right, Zenny? I think I'm going to have to edit the text box for when I stream Pocket in particular. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but Yeah, it is annoying that like the text overlaps. Dang, GG. We just got cooked. Okay, well, they have to have a basic Pokemon. I guess potentially a play there could have been to retreat the Venusaur and use X-Speed. Maybe that was the play, but you know, like, if they've got Sabrina, they win. And then we've got to find the energy attachments, which it would have been okay. Yeah, I think maybe retreating into Bulbasaur. No, but we've got to, we have to knock out the other Pikachu EX too. So they may not have this if they don't have a basic Pokemon. 2012 for Potion? Oh! Yes! They ran out. Unlucky, pal. Got him. It's not often that the Venusaur is able to outlast something like Big Basic Lightning. Not often. They got a bit unlucky, I think. Because all they needed was, what? Just a basic Pokemon and they win, right? That's why it's important to, like, always just think about, like, okay, sometimes instead of thinking about the ways that you can win, you need to, like, flip that thinking around and think about the ways in which they can lose. And so if they, you know, if you think about the game in terms of win conditions and lose conditions, suddenly you've got like a new avenue to win a game where you might assume that you wouldn't be able to. And that was a good example of that, right? My opponent, they just their lose condition was not having a basic Pokemon, and it happened. And you know what? It's a lot more likely, I think, in a game like Pocket, where your search and draw is a bit limited. So it worked out.